set out this new approach.
The question is the motion be agreed to. I call the member for Indi.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Minister, colleagues, it's not only what you do, it's how you do it that impacts on effective intervention. I rise today to speak to the motion celebrating the 25th anniversary of Landcare and to discuss the changes to Landcare funding announced in the 2014-15 budget. I move to speak today in order to raise the question: how will the government ensure that those dedicated to Landcare remain engaged in caring for land and environment across Australia as the government implements its new environmental policy? Over the last 25 years, Landcare has achieved incredible outcomes for our farmers, our farmland, our forests, our rivers, our coasts, our native vegetation and wildlife, and in turn, the quality of life right across Australia. Indi, my electorate, has a strong history of involvement in Landcare, and I would like to acknowledge and say thank you for all this work. In fact, some of the earliest environmental groups which developed into Landcare groups emerged in Indi some 30 to 35 years ago, in Keewar, Springhurst, Bywater Hills, Upper Murray and Baralgary Creek. These groups started as tree planting groups, and in my own community of the Indigo Valley, in 1986, I was part of a pioneer movement that established one of the first actual Landcare groups in northeast Victoria. And I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and say thank you to the terrific work done by all volunteers in the Landcare movement. Thank you and well done. There are now 75 Landcare groups, including special issue groups right across Indi. And these groups have done work on hundreds of projects, including tree and understory planting, management of salinity and soil control, rabbit control and erosion, seed collection, planning, wildlife corridors, and coordinating weed control, including weeds of national significance. Madam Deputy Speaker, while the environmental benefits of Landcare are obvious, the social benefits are also particularly important for rural and regional Australia. Landcare is an incredible movement of volunteers, providing opportunities for all people in a community to be engaged in social, economic and environmental work of great value. Getting communities involved in environmental issues see the participants not only donate their time, but their money and their resources. Estimates from Landcare groups in Indi indicate that up to $8 of value, both in time and in money and resources, is contributed from participants for every dollar of government funding. Landcare has provided an opportunity for communities to take care of the environments that they live in, while also encouraging them and providing them with a stable project or program to donate their money to environmental management. I do believe, Madam Deputy Speaker, that it is important that government has an opportunity to implement new programs to improve the environment we live in. And while I support Landcare, I also believe that much has to be done to improve the efficiency of Landcare programs. And programs such as the Green Army, which the Minister has just mentioned, and the tree planting program obviously provide avenues to ensure that land management and sustainability programs can continue. And this is where my real concern emerges. The government changes to Landcare will impact on many small volunteer Landcare groups. This will have an impact on many of their communities and their sense of confidence in volunteering. As in most things in life, it's not just what you do, it's how you do it that has an impact on the final result. And this is particularly the case with community groups who depend on volunteer effort. And my question to the government is, or my questions to the government are, how will the government ensure that the Landcare volunteers and the resources that they donate to environmental programs continue to be involved in these new programs? How is the government consulting with the community about how they want these new environmental programs to be implemented? Communities know what's best for the land. Ask them what needs to be done. Involve them in the process. Make sure that all interested community groups and stakeholders are involved in the big changes that the governments are planning. It would be a sad day indeed if on this 25th anniversary we saw widespread disengagement from volunteerism in environment groups for the want of a focus on the how as well as the what.